My biggest complaint about FM since I've started playing, at least the last 2 seasons, 3 seasons, has been extra time goals. The rate at which they occur is statistically improbable. I'm not saying they don't happen in games. They do. I'm just saying the fact they seem to happen as often as they do in my games is really freaking annoying. And I'm only bringing it up again because we got absolutely FM'd in our game against Madrid, and I'll show you that here now. My name's FM20. It's time to get real. So yeah, the transfer window closed. We got everybody registered. Espanyol hired Andre Villas-Boas as a head coach. And I say that is interesting because he hasn't been a head coach since he left Napoli 6 years ago. So I don't want to say they're exactly scraping the bottom of the barrel because he's a really good coach. But 6 years without a job? That strikes me as just really kind of odd. But we didn't get him off to the best start as we won 2-0 thanks to a goal by Charlie Zealy-Mathis and then a penalty kick by Diane against Madrid. We had this game won. Robert Maria scored in the 39th minute. We were playing them decently. They did not have the best game. When Madrid plays average, teams can beat them, and they played average. Ignore the 7-2s. I'm pointing to the screen here. Obviously, you can't see that. Ignore the 7s you see here because a lot of those were the fact it was all key passes. You know, Pogba had a 7-2 and literally most of the game. It's like the game started 5 minutes and, oh, look, Pogba's on a 7-2. The game was literally 94 minutes long. So Verschaeren gets the ball, sends it out to Carrera, who gets by the defender. Nieto hits it. Seferovic gets a hand on it. And it somehow gets directed into the top of the goal. It's just annoying. So as it stands, we're in third place. We're 6 points behind Madrid. A win would have been nice. We're 3 points ahead of Villarreal. Of our 25 matches played, our 43 goals scored are fourth highest. Our 20 goals allowed are third best. Our 58 yellow cards are first in the league. We have 1 red card. And our attendance is not too shabby. It's 19,187, which I want to say tops out the stadium that we're renting. 19,336. Yeah. So we're obviously getting some standing room only crowds going on there. Robert Maria leads us with 16 goals, and Donny Alonso with 7.4 rating and 8 assists. Fernandez still best pass completion. Maria, 5 players in the match awards. Jobert, 11 yellow cards. Got a bunch of players with 1 yellow card. We have 184 million euros in the bank and 83 million euros left to spend on the transfer budget. That will change. What I need to do is this real quick. Sign players from the lower levels of the domestic game. I'm signing lower level players. They're just not Spanish lower level players. And frankly, the lower levels just haven't been that productive for us. Fernandez is about the one good player we found from the lower level of Spain. You know, and I'm not going to sign a player just so he can sit on the bench and I can kind of look good here. So we got average corporate facilities, average training facilities, average data analysis facilities, good youth facilities. Let's see if we can't change some of that here real quick. Make a board request. Facilities. Let's improve the training facilities. Okay. And you know what? I want to get the data analysis facilities too. Okay. I hate that sometimes you got to go to a second and third grade of, you know, I really feel we're going to get left behind. I mean, we're a top of the table team now, and I still got to switch my best 11 out here. We're a top of the table team now. I don't expect that's going to change anytime soon, unless something drastic happens, like we get a major injury, which I don't see happening. And we need better facilities. We need to be able to compete. I've got a really good head of youth development, but our youth intakes have been absolutely horrible. I mean, they just haven't produced any really good players. We got that 4-star potential goalkeeper who may or may not turn out, but, you know, I got Seferovic, who's 19 years old and is improving by, well, I'm not going to say leaps and bounds, but he's improving day by day. I mean, he's starting in goal for us today, and then we got Mahmoud, Barnabashvili, Joubert, and Dale Vabor as the defensive back four. Vojnovic and Diane as the midfielders. Mathis and Lemaitre as the attacking midfielders. Matisevic and Maria up top as the strikers. We're playing in Krasnodar in light snow, and Barnabashvili is back home. Vojnovic got booked in the 2nd minute, and Ignatov got booked in the 3rd minute for Krasnodar. What on earth is that field? Diane steals the ball. Up to Maria. The defender totally misplayed it. Round the keeper. Thank you. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. 10 minutes in, we are up 1-0. Watch this. And he dinks left. Right. His right. Keeper's left. His right. Rounds the keeper. Well done, Robert. 1 time in 100 that happens. That's the 1 time. Corner kick in. Headed over the crossbar. Dale Vabora sends it in. And into the goal. Barnabashvili scores. No penalties. No offsides. Oh, keeper misplayed that. Either the keeper misplayed that or the defender misplayed that. Maria with the ball. Cuts left. Almost tackled. Gets by 2 defenders. Still driving forward. Over to Mathis. And he kicks it right at Lagoida. Bombs it forward to Barnabashvili, and the highlight ends. Just before half, we are dominating Krasnodar. 10 shots, 7 on target. They're 2-2. Decent possession advantage. 7 shots on target. Let's keep it going, fellas. Gotta tell Vojnovic to keep it calm. Tell Lemaitre to keep it calm. We didn't make any moves at the end of the transfer window other than signing Israel. I do have some players that are wanted. I suspect the summer transfer window, a couple of them could go if I could find capable replacements. We're getting at that point now where I'm reasonably comfortable spending a decent amount of money for a player. I want to say the most... I'd have to go back and look, but I want to say the most I've spent for a player is 22 million. I'm probably wrong there. I know we sold Traore for 22 million, but I don't know how much we bought a player for. I'll have to, I'll check between games. We're going to bring Lemaitre off and bring on Smilkovic. We're going to get Vojnovic on and bring on Fabian, and then swap Fabian and Diane around. Mahmoud to Mathis. Back to Mahmoud. Drives forward. Up to Matisevic. To Mahmoud. Over to Fabian. To Mahmoud. Back to Barnabashvili. Over to Joubert. Out to Smilkovic on the right. He's got help. Instead, he's going to center it in. It looked like a foul. Mahmoud to Diane. Fabian. Back out to Mahmoud. In the box. Crosses it. Smilkovic is there. And it sneaks through for the goal. That was nice. Whoever that player is, Maria got in front of the defender and just totally shielded him. Orakov. Back to Comer. Drops it off to Sorokin. He sends it out left to Soteldo. He's challenged by Mahmoud and fouled. Or Vabora fouled him. Free kick just outside the box. Yikes. Tochlin sends it in, knocked away. Comer, top of the box. Mathis challenges, but he gets it over to Soteldo. Kolaris and Seferovic, a very nice save. Dale Vabora on the throw-in. To Maria. Back to Fabian. Long pass, Mahmoud in front of the box, takes the shot off Lagoida and in for the goal. His first of the season. He doesn't score that much, but I'm not paying him to score. I'm paying him to pass and defend. And he does a really good job with that. Maria, back to Fabian. Nice left-footed cross. And Mahmoud just powers it in with his left foot. Lagoita probably should have had that, to be honest with you. You know what? We are going to make one more change. We're going to bring Fernandez on, bring Delavabora off. Mathis. Oh, loses it. Toshlin has it. Back to Orkov. Sorokin. Ignatov. Up to Kozlov. Over to Kloris. Out to Orakev on the right. Challenged by Mahmoud. He gets... Orkov gets it back right. Mahmoud came off him. Toshlin. Ignatov. Far post. That was a nice goal. That was good ball movement by Krasnodar. I can't get over this field. Good grief. But, you know, the burger vans are going. That's good. It would probably require a lot of behind-the-scenes programming, but it would be cool if you could do, like, get a digital scan of everybody's stadium and then put it into the game. Man, the computing power required for that, though. I don't see that happening. Orkov on the throw-in. Kozlov to Orkov, centers it in. Joubert knocks it away. Fabian, can he get there before Ignatov? He can. It's 3-on-3. Fabian driving right. Drop it off. No, he's going to try and score. And it bounces off the number 8 player. Goes out for a corner kick. Smilkovic sends it in, but Lagoita jumps up and grabs that. 4 away goals in Krasnodar. 19 shots. 12 on target to their 8-5. Well done, boys. Mind speed 80k, 6-0. Good grief. Mahmoud, you were classy. I'm going to check something here real quick on the transfer window, and then we're going to be back with our game in Hyan against Krasnodar in just a bit. The most we've spent on a player, believe it or not, is the 11 million euros we paid this last season in the summer transfer window for Bertosa. Goes up to 12.25 million. Before that, it was Diane goes up to 13.5 based on appearances and some other things, but I think some of those are international, so we probably won't be paying all of that off. Until then, it was Mahmoud, who was 9.75 million. So, how to assemble a team on a budget, even when your team has money. Boy, we've been really lucky. So, we're going to be back with the Krasnodar game in just a bit. So, yeah, I went upstairs to help the wife with something, and I forgot to pause the game. I've got it set up to the automatic thing where it goes, every 10 seconds and advances to the next page, and I sat down and wasn't paying attention, and I hit the button at the top and submitted my team for the Celta Vigo game, which was the exact same squad we played at Krasnodar 3 days earlier. We lucked out. We got a Martin Matasevic goal off a horrible Valentin Raboui error. I could not make this up if I tried. Watch this. Mathis bombs it forward. Matasevic runs through 2 players. Raboui kicks it, and it literally bounces off Matasevic's face and into the goal. So, Valentin Raboui got another assist, except it was for his own team. The team played bad. Our only saving grace was that Celta Vigo played worse, which doesn't speak too highly of them because they're in 7th place. They're fighting for European football. Granted, they're 8 points out of it at the moment, but depending on how the Copa del Rey goes, they could qualify. So I gave the guys a rest between Celta Vigo and Krasnodar. The only player who isn't starting that started last time is Charles Ely Mathis, and that's because I got Ronnie Harold starting. But other than that, it is pretty much the same squad, so we're going to get to that here in just a bit. And that is Seferovic in goal. Well, Mahmoud's coming off too. He's just absolutely not ready for the game. Bertosa, Barnabashvili, Joubert, Delavabor is the defensive back 4. Vojnovic and Diane is the midfielders. Harold and Lamatre is the attack midfielders. Matasevic and Maria up top as the strikers. So we've got a 3-goal, and Delavabor is already 89%. Okay, that's not so bad. If he was like sub 80% right now, I'd be worried. We got a 3-goal advantage. I'm not too horribly worried about it, but we'll see what happens. Lamatre loses the ball to Soteldo, but someone was fouled. Delavabora on the throw-in, and someone was fouled. Just outside the box. Okay, we didn't get that. Now we're going to this one, but all the way back over here. Rubtsov. And Seferovic punches that up in the air. Wow, that ball got big. I'm saying Seferovic punched up the air. It could have well hit the crossbar for all I know, but all I know is it didn't go in. Thank you, ref, for getting in the way there. And that is George wanting in. After this, I will take care of that. Delavabor sends it in. Matasevic skies it over the crossbar. Abanda. Over to Soteldo. Gets by one, gets by two. Seferovic somehow manages to block that. And George drinking in the background there. And it's halftime. 3 shots, 2 on target for Krasnodar, 6 shots, 4 on target for us. And I'm going to wait for George to finish eating in that, and then we will pick this up. Now, Ronnie Harold picked up a slight knee injury, so we brought on Mathis. 60 minutes in. I took him off. I love how the game catches up. Matasevic sends it in, knocked away, but Maria's going to run it down. Out to Lemaitre. He holds it up. Long pass across the field to Matasevic, over to Mathis. He gets back. Oh, Taranjev fouls him. It's Matasevic. Nice. You know, we're going to skip this. We're going to get Sirac on for Barnabashvili. We're going to get Israel on for Lemaitre. Maria is not having the best game, but I would much rather get Israel some playing time. My guys were complacent. I told them to concentrate. They're still complacent. And why wouldn't you be? You got a 4-goal advantage against Krasnodar. 5 minutes left. Sirac got a yellow card. Jeez. And we advance thanks to a Martin Matasevic penalty kick in the 67th minute. So we will find out who... God, mine's beat AEK 9-0 on average. On aggregate. Good grief. Schalke's in the Europa League. Ooh. That could be interesting. We got 500,000 euros for advancing past the first knockout round. We will see who we're facing in the second round. We got a pretty decent schedule coming up too. We got Atletico coming up. We got Coruña coming up. Second knockout round. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Rijeka is playing Villarreal. Mainz is playing Galatasaray. Stuttgart is playing Tottenham. Ajax is playing Milan. We are playing Man City. Oh, jeez. Juve is playing Lyon. Zenit is playing Feyenoord. And Schalke is playing Slavia Praha. How did Man City end up in the Europa League? They started in the Europa League. They won their group quite handily. Man. Okay. Well, when are we playing them? It's the 22nd now. We're playing them in 9 days. Okay, well, that's who we'll come back for. Yikes. A really good win. A really good series of wins. 3 good... What am I trying to say here? 2 good wins and a not-so-good win. The Celta Vigo one was a gift. We probably shouldn't have won that. We probably should have drawn that. But rather, we made a horrible, horrible mistake, and we capitalized on it. But winning 5-1 on aggregate against a decent Krasnodar team. I mean, they're good. They won the Russian league for a while, and they finished 4th and then 2nd. They're not a horrible team by any stretch of the imagination. But we did a good job of beating them. Guys came away injury-free, or at least seriously injury-free. Man City, do they still have anybody on the team I recognize? Bernard Silva. They got Tyler Hardwood-Bellis. Depending on how the game rolls him at the beginning of the save, he either becomes like a wonder kid or a really good player. And this time around, he's a really good player. Their keeper has freaking 3 players of the matches. Serginho Dest. He is a real player. He's a really good right back. Who's their leading scorer? He is out on loan. João Felix. They got João Felix and Danny Olmo. Paulo Dybala and Diego Jota. Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling. They're old. They're an old club. Wow. Erling Haaland. Who's good, but he has not filled his potential. Wow. Man City bought him for $27 million at 16 goals and just... This happens at the beginning of each save for players. The game randomizes how good they can be. They have a lower limit they're not going to fall below. But their upper limit is between, as an example, 1 and 10. So you start a new game 10 times, you could get, if you have one of the editors and you look, you could get like a player like Sandro Tonali. He's going to start the game with a current ability of 140. His potential ability could be 160, could be 167, could be 178, could be 184. You never know unless you go in and edit it or you use one of those scouting programs you can download. So that's why from save to save, a player who does really well in one save won't do as well in the other because their potential ability rolls just don't top out, or they don't max out, I should say, to what they could be. And Haaland's a prime example of that. I mean, he got 16 goals in 28 games for Man City, and then he's been there forever, and they haven't sold him. They're wanting to move him for $23 million. They got this guy waiting. Why he is out on loan, I don't know, but man, he is. I remember scouting him when he first came out 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It was just, there's no way on earth we're going to be able to get him. They got a good club, but they're old. But they got one hell of a keeper. And Gerard Van Eekhout. Ousmane Dembele. John Stones. Good grief, they're an old squad. I'm not going to say I like our chances because it could really go either way. But you know what? We're going to see what happens. That's why we play the games. So, like I was saying earlier before I got sidetracked on the whole Man City hole, 2 good wins for us against Krasnodar, not so good win against Celta Vigo, but we're alive. We're doing well, and we got Atletico, followed by Man City. So that's what's coming up next episode, probably in about a half hour. If you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. My name's FM20. I thank you, and I gotta do this real quick, for watching.